Good day people, this is Nil, and before I start this video, a question for you to consider. When you feel blocked up in your mind, when there is too much going on, too much noise, where do you go and what to do in order to find calmness and quietness again? Amongst many other things, for me personally, nature is mostly the place that I go to when I need to find calmness, when I simply need to be and get reminded that I can also slow down. So in this video I want to share how I like to be in nature and what to do in nature. Many people, I think, especially living in cities, kind of forgot how to really interact and participate in nature. So maybe, hopefully, here's some inspirations for you to take away. So one of the first things, whenever I am in nature, I like to really participate in nature. That means I like to touch things, I like to smell things, I like to climb on things. So the first step that is needed in order to get the whole process starting is actually making your hands and feet dirty. This can be a huge hurdle for some people, getting dirty, you know. Get your hands on the floor, forest floor, whatever it is, and really get them dirty. So the first step then is out of the way and you can really enjoy being in nature. I also definitely do recommend to take off your shoes and your socks and really be barefoot so you can feel what is going on. A nice thing is to simply walk around, and by just walking around and listening to all the noises that you make while walking in nature, different terrains and getting different sensations also in the soles of your feet is already a good step to feel just a little bit more part of our surroundings instead of just being an observer. Yeah, and if you really observe and take your time and bring some patience, you might see wonderful things like pollen entangled in spider webs, or something like this, like bones laying there on the forest floor, which is an invitation to wonder what might have happened here. Now, instead of just walking around in nature like you would normally do in cities, I urge you to also change perspectives, to look a little bit closer at things that you would usually not look that close of, and then you can see truly miraculous things in leaves on the floor. Simply also changing your perspective by looking up and seeing the canopy of the trees, for example, does really wonders. Yeah, needless to say, in nature you can find great things to also find some physical practice, like balancing on tree logs, climbing up trees, juggling with stones, throwing with stones. The opportunities are endless and you can find many little challenges in nature to challenge your physicality and get a nice practice on.
Georg, zum George.
Just sitting here and listening to the sounds of nature really is an excellent sound therapy. In her book Move Your DNA by Katie Bowman, she describes nature sounds and human-made sounds, and the human-made sounds she called anthropophony, so sounds produced by humans. And when being in nature and you only listen to this nature sounds, it really does something to you. And for me it's always a very humbling moment and a very quiet and peaceful moment also. So just sitting there, maybe even closing my eyes, taking it all in through the senses of my ears now, maybe feeling the wind on my skin, and that is a moment of calmness. Another interesting and also important aspect for me is, and I know it from the bottom of my heart, growing up as a child, I used to be very scared of nature because I didn't know what was going on around me. So many novel noises, so many things that potentially could harm myself, no? Like disease-carrying insects like ticks that we have here in Germany, and other plants and all of that. So one important aspect is educating yourself about the environment that you're in this case, for example, knowing or getting to know what trees you have in your environment, what kind of flowers you have, what kind of insects you have, where potentially there could be dangers or anything like that. I just found a plant, we call it in German Maiglöckchen, that is very similar to another plant which we call Bärlauch. Both look very much the same, but one is very, very nice sweet, it tastes like garlic, and the other one is highly poisonous. So educating yourself about certain things like this really also increases your connectedness to being in nature. And this is also a final thought that I want to share, this feeling of being connected. Maybe in times when you don't feel so much connected to yourself, don't feel so much connected to other people because of certain circumstances, right? I personally find a lot of connection simply by being in nature. There are always things that I can relate to, certain animals that I like the characteristics of, and I find a connection there, and it gives me a very nice and soothing sense. So spending more time in nature is not only proven to be beneficial for your health and well-being, I also personally find many cool connections in nature every time I'm there. It's a space for me that allows for more space for my thoughts, for stillness, for emptiness also. So I hope through this video you could find some inspirations, certain things that you might want to do the next time you are in nature, or simply spending some more time in nature. That's it for now. Take care. This is the river we call Isar here in Munich. I will now jump in and get myself a cooling bath. Take care. Bye bye.